Alright guys, I got some good news for you. This Saturday, Honda Company is gonna have its drop. We've had so much of this inventory sitting in the shop for a while and we are ready to release it. Here are the details right here. Be ready for it because it's gonna go really fast. And today's video is actually hosted by Calvin. Last night I was at the shop until about 4 a.m. and the car wasn't ready to go to Vegas. So then I slept during the day, and as I slept during the day and I was all upset because my car wasn't ready, Calvin was like, hey, is it okay if I vlog or something? And I'm like, dude, take the camera, go do it. So enjoy this video of Calvin. I will see you guys later.
Today, while everyone is gone and I'm the only one at the warehouse, I have a lot of things to do. First of all, I just came back from having dinner with my parents, or lunch with my parents. It's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Tatay. But the first thing that we're gonna do today is I need these wheels to go on this car. I'm gonna be the first one to say this, but I love the stockies that come on the 240. For some reason, the weird look, the odd rim really attracts me. I think it's really cool, but my tires are balding and I cannot drive my car without it. If you look at the back of my car, I already have them on there. I'm not gonna be like my BRZ. I'm gonna try to treat this car better than my BRZ, have the same wheels at the same time. I just noticed something weird about my wheels. Ever since I put these on, the ones that were sitting in the corner, it felt really weird. Like, it felt like the tires weren't the same. And lo and behold, this one says 205/45, and this one says 205/55. No wonder why I was feeling a little weird. So, lesson to be learned, always check everything, even tire size. Definitely need to get new wheels for this car. Not anytime soon though. I don't plan to get new wheels until other body mods. What it looks like right now, it looks like a drag car. It has like a huge tire in the back and a really small tire in the front. It looks alright. Probably because they're dirty. I'm gonna hit it with a little degreaser and let it do its thing, rinse it off later, and we're gonna get to what I need to do today. The main thing, the main reason why I came here all alone. My BRZ is broken. As you guys can see, I said my car was broken, and clearly it just drove inside of here, but that's not what I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you what happens if you don't properly install an air system. If you don't properly install an air system, this is what can happen to you. That is an air compressor, and that is it broken in half. Last time I checked, air compressors are supposed to be in one piece, but I didn't do it right. So to those who think, actually allow me to explain what I potentially think the problem is, and you can correct me down in the description if I'm wrong. So what I believed happened was the air compressor was not fully mounted securely, like down and secure. So the air compressor had room to wiggle, shake, vibrate, and all that bad things, and the imbalance caused it to tweak in the wrong way. So I bought another air compressor, and I'm gonna show you guys how to install one kind of properly. In anticipation for me messing up again, I went on Amazon and bought a dual air compressor system, but I'm only gonna put in one because first of all, doing a dual system is a little bit different than doing a single system. On a dual system, you need 2 relays, and you need to wire up more things, and I just don't have enough time for that today. Maybe in the future I'll put in another one. And on top of that, I have no room in my car. I have a subwoofer and all of the it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen this time. It's time to start doing the swap, and these are the tools you're gonna need. Some sort of crimping tool. Doesn't need to be as fancy as this. Some sort of stripping tool. A 10, a 16, and an 8. The 8 is what I need. You're gonna need your air filters that came with the kit. You're gonna need some heat shrink to make it look professional. Your hardware, these are called well nuts, by the way. These are used to do body kits, but the second purpose is that they're rubber and they isolate your air compressor. And you're also gonna need your air compressor. The very first thing you're gonna do is use a 10 to disconnect your battery, because anytime you're working on electronics, you never want the battery connected, because bad things will happen to your wires. And when bad things happen, it costs money. So we're gonna prevent that right now. There you go. The way I mounted this before were two 8mm head screws. This is probably like a 4, some sort of thread pitch. But I did a little 8mm thing here. There you go. Take those two off, and then the air compressor can come out. There's your fucking problem. My God, what happened? What happened? I know what happened. I'll explain it, and you'll see. Do not do what I did. Do not do what I did. Oh, fuck. I'm stupid. Fuck! After the air compressor is free, you're gonna take it off of the air tank. But be sure that your air tank is empty, because if you remove that while there's 200 PSI behind it, you are seriously gonna hurt your shit. And yes, I did. I checked that mine doesn't have it. Doesn't have air. We're gonna do a little AV shout out. We're gonna do a little tear down of the tool and see what it does and how it works. Just by looking at it right now, it's pretty simple how this air compressor works. It looks like that I could fix it, honestly. Like, this is not broken, this is not done. Perfectly fine. It's just the housing got a little fuckerinoed. Shout out to AVE. So, it's fairly simple. This is a motor that spins a rotating mass, just like a crank or a cam, similar to a camshaft where this is offset. And what happens is this piston goes up and down inside of that hole, and every time it comes down on the upstroke, it forces air through this hole, filling your air tank. And what happened was a housing failure. Do not do this to yours. So basically what I did was, I thought it was clever because the mounting brackets were on the outside facing this way and on the other side facing that way. I thought it was clever to pull these hardwares out and flip it around to the mounting bracket so I can mount it better. But in doing so, I left only the top two holes holding this housing where this reciprocating mass can destroy itself. Do not do that. You need all 4 bolts to hold this front housing, the compression chamber, in place. And what happened was the vibration tweaked this like this. It used to be straight up and down, and then it tweaked it slightly, and then the compressor on the upstroke caught the edge and ripperinoed my air compressor. It's not broken. If I hook this up to a battery, you'll see the reciprocating mass still do its thing. Maybe one day I'll fix it, but not today. The next key part is to take your air compressor, hold it up to the thing, and think about how you're gonna mount it using the stock amp. And while you're at it, go ahead and install your air filter. You take off this rubber nipple from the back, give it a little screw. Also, don't forget, before installing, there's a second rubber nipple on the output side. Take that out. Done. Now it's creativity time, baby. It's time to be creative, baby. So you're gonna take this guy. Oh my God, that's heavy. You're gonna take this guy, you're gonna put him on here, and figure out how you're gonna do this. Jesus. And maybe that hole can line up over there? That'd be sick. Hold up. The next step in the process is to smoke a hole big enough to fit this 3/8 well nut into the hole. If this is the back of the car and this is the front of the car, then it's the second row furthest to the right if you're facing the back. It took me the better part of an hour to create this little bracket so that it would reach the other side. Let me show you what I made. I found a little piece of L bracket. I took this, I drilled a couple holes to fix it in place, and then this hole will reach that end. Easy enough. Let's assemble it. Just a good looking bracket. Oh, it's the screw, a lock washer, a washer, another washer, the bolt, and then the well nut. Because I know sometimes it's really hard to figure out what hardware to use, but that tends to be the order of operations. Screw, lock, washer, and then fix it to the thing. I went ahead and made a second bracket because I felt like it was still a little wobbly. And now this thing will not fucking move. It's so sick. I'm so proud of this. Even though it's just 2 pieces of aluminum angle, it doesn't matter. I feel super accomplished making this thing. It took me the better part of 6 hours, but it looks great. I'm so proud of this. Now we're gonna go put it in the car. There are 2 things before this thing runs. We have to get these hooked up, get these little wires hooked up. We're gonna end up putting some terminals, spade terminals, so that they plug in easier. And then 2, hook it up to the tank, and we're done. Next part is the electric. Well, we can reach out here. What we're gonna do is take the negative terminal and put a spade bit. Pro tip, if the positive terminal has a female end, you wanna put a male end on the ground side, because that way, when you go to plug it in and unplug it, what'll happen is you can't put the positive on the negative side and the negative on the positive side, because putting that backwards, I don't know what it does to a pump, but probably not good things. Oh, this is the best tool. Oh, doctor. Exposed. The doctor is exposed. I apologize, I got excited and just did all the wiring. So it's simple. You basically find the power wire and hook it up to the power of the air compressor. You find the ground wire and you hook it up to the ground. But the last thing we have to do before this can be all buttoned up is install the air compressor out into the tank. It's pretty simple. Before you decide to just slap that on there, you can't. You either use Teflon tape or Loctite 565. This shit is sick. Like it's a little pricey, but you won't be chasing leaks wherever this is attached. So if you do it right, you just do a little dab, a little ring around the thread and just shove her in and you're done. I looked up online on how tight to make these NPT connections, and what they say is you do it all the way until hand tight, and then you get your wrench and do 1 whole rotation and then a half rotation, and then you should be good. The last thing you want to do is over tighten it, because as an NPT fitting goes in, it tapers. It gets bigger and wider so that it makes a seal. If you just blast through that, especially through aluminum, you're just gonna eat it and everything's gonna be fucked. But now that everything's hooked up, I'm gonna put my battery back on and see if this works. Fuck, this is sick. Time to test it. When I turn my car on, hopefully that air compressor comes on. If it doesn't, then I messed up. And hopefully, in the next 10 days, my air compressor doesn't shake itself to death. Good luck, everybody. Just a good job. All right, this was a short, I don't know how long this video will be, but this was a video for those who got their air installed and their air compressors for some reason broken. I hope this helped. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out and keep moving forward.
And I'm feeling